Well, top of the morning to you. Reached the Tasmania Reactions channel. Hope you're doing fine this evening. Like, subscribe, write some comments on there. Hope you're all having a good week still. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you're checking out some of my other videos, liking and also commenting on there. Well, today, last video was mainly on the American Eagle. It was a little more fun. Try to be a little more laid back a little with the American Eagle commercial. Today I was like, I don't know, should we do Dildo Gate with the WNBA? You know, all of a sudden I came across this I believe some type of TikTok or something on somewhere. But anyway, we're gonna react to this. I had a strong feeling about this and asked a few people. I had some interesting questions. Nothing really changed my way because I don't think necessarily either way is wrong. It's just kind of how I feel about it. But let's go ahead and just listen to this one real quick.
Babe.
Yeah.
How would you feel about me going with Jeanette on a girls trip? Would you be mad if I went on a trip? Would you be mad about it?
I wouldn't be mad. I would be very indifferent.
What would be the problem?
I would invite you to no longer be in the current state of our marriage.
Okay. What would be the...
Listen, if you want to go on girls trips and do that stuff, then you should be single.
What?
That's what I'm saying. You should be single. If you want to do single shit, be single. If you want to be married, be married. Tell going out, dancing, partying, drinking.
No.
Here, you can have this thing.
Stop.
You have this thing.
Stop. I'm not really going on a girls trip. Sorry. Here. We won't talk about this anymore. Put that back on. Babe.
Okay, so just go over the captions that they have here. Not what she was saying, but here that's blue highlighted, which is obviously degrading this man here, I guess. But it says, "What an insecure man looks like."
Yeah.
How would you feel about me going with Jeanette on a girls trip? Would you be mad if I went on a trip?
Then it says, first he says he would be indifferent about it all, which is a lie.
Would you be mad about it?
I wouldn't be mad. I would be very indifferent. I would invite you.
Then he straight up implies that the marriage would be over.
Problem.
I would invite you to no longer be in the current state of our marriage.
Okay. What would be the...
And then he says that going out with the girls on trips is a single thing to do, which is absolutely is not.
Listen, if you want to go on girls trips and do that stuff, then you should be single.
What?
That's what I'm saying. You should be single. If you want to do single shit, be single. If you want to be married, be married. Tell going out.
There is nothing wrong with going out with friends to have some fun with each other.
Dancing, partying, drinking.
No.
Here, you can.
And now he's acting ridiculous, trying to give her his ring to take with her.
Here, you have this thing.
Stop.
You have this thing.
Stop. I'm not really going on a girls trip. Sorry. Here. We won't talk about this anymore. Put that back on.
It ends with, this is what an insecure man looks like. And that's how it ends. So obviously it starts again. Let's see.
Babe.
Yeah.
How would you feel about me going with Jeanette on a girls trip? Would you be mad if I went on a trip?
So obviously he says, this is what Instagram looks like, and she asks him, what does he think of her going on a girls trip? I mean, you pretty much hear in her voice that she's more like, oh, there's going to be an issue. Would you be mad? She asks. To me, a little condescending. Then it lists here, and I would eliminate this one real quick. First he says that he would be indifferent about it all, which is a lie. Okay, so after I saw this, maybe it's because I like this they ended up coming up a couple more times. I guess they go out and they show this moronic things that they do. This one, it's just an interesting story just from some of the stuff I've been talking about. And, it's already portraying this guy as, even though I really don't see any problem with some of the stuff he was saying, except for this indifferent thing. But I think it was just another way to make this man look weak, and a completely emotional, like weak emotion, not disagreeable emotional, or that she's being disrespectful to her husband in that way, and he's going to stand up for himself. The indifference comment just makes him look weak. He would have eliminated this, but due to the fact that I see where they're coming from, I guess that's in there. But I really do kind of see a lot of how he's coming about it and where he's coming from. Obviously, the yellow caption here is extremely biased, coming from, I don't know, I'm Woman Henry Roar, or some weak dude. But like, there was another video he did where he gave her $1,000 or something like that, and then told her to deposit the rest, and she decides to act like the $900 is change from the 1,000, so she ended up spending the 900. So then at that point, it makes her look like a idiot, and he looks mad, and it just makes her look silly. So obviously they play off each other. I didn't find the other two videos as interesting as this one, and it would have been nice if they would eliminate this indifference thing. But anyway, so let's keep going.
Would you be mad about it?
I wouldn't be mad. I would be very indifferent.
What would be the problem?
Okay, so obviously indifferent would mean that it really wouldn't bother him. He don't care or whatever. I guess that's what they were trying to take it for. And then all of a sudden, he just becomes so emotional, and he blows up, and he's weak, and the stuff he's saying is just bossy, maybe just a weak and insecure man, as it's called, right? And it says, and then he straight up implies that the marriage would be over. He actually does not imply that. What he says was he questioned the status of their relationship. So here you go.
I would invite you to no longer be in the current state of our marriage.
Okay.
No longer be in the current state of our relationship or our marriage. I don't necessarily think that's saying that the marriage would be over. That'd be more of a point where a man turns around and goes, "You want to go? We've been together how long? You want to start going on girl trips and whatever? What do you expect me to do? You expect me to sit here like a log on the side of a lake and just not move, or be an oak like a tree and just stand here while you go out and have fun, as it's called?" No, he said maybe we need to sit down and say, okay, you're going to go out and go girls' night. I'm going to go out and I'm going to have my fun. I don't necessarily think that's a horrible response, to be honest with you.
Listen, if you want to go on girls' trips and do that stuff, then you should be single.
Okay, now he says, you want to go do that, maybe you should be single. I don't see anything wrong with that as a husband to a wife.
That's what I'm saying. You should be single. If you want to do single shit, be single. If you want to be married, be married. Tell going out.
Yeah, you want to be single, be single. You want to be married, be married. And then, of course, in the caption here, there's nothing wrong with going out with your friends to have some fun with each other. Well, for one, she didn't ask for a girls' night. She said a girls' trip. Now, I'm not very fond of girls' nights and boys' nights. Pretty much batting 1,000 with people that I know who enjoy girls' nights and boys' nights. Not from many videos that I've seen, not from many stories that I've read, were girls' nights, especially if it's a consistent girls' night, guys' night. It's not healthy for a relationship. I'm sorry. I personally don't think I mean, I personally think, once again, there's different people out there. So, if there's people out there who want to be married but somehow be independent of each other most of the time, well, we'll see how that ends up turning out. Most of the time, it's probably going to end up with an open marriage or some type of swinging action or whatever, which, hey, to each its own. If you guys want to do that, you want to do that. But then when it says here, there's nothing wrong with going out, right? For one, like I said, that said a girl's trip. That means a trip. That means it's going to be days. One day, overnight, it wasn't a girl's night. So to say just going out with your friends to have some fun with each other, it's not what she asked. But okay, way to suck you in. I'm the type of person. I'm a decent debater. That's not going to fly.
Dancing, partying, drinking.
No.
Here, you want?
Dancing, party, drinking. What's wrong with that on a girl's night? What happens when you dance and you party? Oh, and then you drink. And then nowadays, more common than not, do a little of the marijuana or anything or something like that, loosen you up a little bit. Yeah, that doesn't seem like there's any issues with that, or that many times, or just today, batting 1,000, everybody I asked, their whole story ended with somebody cheating. One was even a business trip, because the person went on business trips a lot, and that ended up happening, which is, I would also question, if a man wants to be a family man, should you change your career to something where you stay home, not just for your wife, but for your kids? Being on trips, that also doesn't help either. So, and it says, so now he's acting ridiculous, trying to give her his ring to say goodbye. Okay, now, I guess this would be something would be like, okay, now we're saying that the relationship's over, so we'll listen to it.
You have this thing.
Stop.
You have this thing.
Stop. I'm not really going on a girls' trip. Sorry. Here. We won't talk about this anymore. Put that back on.
Okay. So then when she goes back and, oh, I'm really not. I'm not, blah, blah, blah. So obviously then it makes it look like she's a dumbass and just bringing that up. Or she knows that it was a dumb thing to bring up, whatever. But anyway. So I asked many people about that and whatever. And, the guys have been married for a bit. Most of them are like, no, my girl doesn't go out on girl nights, and I don't go out on guys nights. A couple of guys I know play softball. They go out. They say, my wife comes out with me a lot, but it gets cold where I'm at, and when it gets too cold, she doesn't come out. But ultimately, as at least the two guys I was talking to, they're like, but my wife has the schedule, it's up there, so maybe we go out and have a couple of drinks afterwards or whatever, just because we're team, whatever, but she's totally invited to come. It's not a guy's night or whatever. And he's like, and occasionally the wife says, well, come home afterwards. The guy comes home. So obviously insecures, feeling I can't even say that. Uncertain, a lack of confidence, inadequate. That's what I was looking for. Anxiety about reaching goals. Anxiety about relationships. Anxiety about ability. Stuff like that. Except for the little stupid part where he said he was indifferent. I would not be indifferent about this subject. I would immediately point on and say, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Kind of in the same way he said it's not going to happen in the state of the marriage that we have right now. It would also depend on maybe the friend that they went, now that I've been together so long. But, I just, yeah. And so the other guys I was talking to, I don't see any problem with guys' nights, man. Like, I went on guys' nights, my first marriage, and, she go on girls' nights. I was like, Oh, your first marriage? Oh, okay. Okay. The other guy talked to. Yeah, no, we were good. Yeah, but that's kind of caused the issue when we ended up causing a lot of issues in our relationship, and then that's why we got a divorce. Oh, divorce? Oh, there's 2 for 2. But the guys that are still married? Oh no, we don't do that. We don't do that at all. Um, it's not like I can go with the boys and whatever. I think I said that already. No, it's that we don't do that. And yeah, it's just interesting. And then a couple of females that were there were also like, well, no, I don't, I mean, I got my friends, and, my friends are extremely important to me. I had my friends before we got together, and and they stayed with me and whatever. And you already know I mean, if you see the past videos, you guys got to know how I feel about female friends anyways, how great they are. And then that's kind of the point. Well, then I kind of asked, I was like, well, then, and one of them, and my husband's or my husband, my ex is long gone now, and I still got my friends. 3 for 3. Yeah, I guess that's why you still have your friends, huh? At least you still have your friends. You don't have your husband, but you have your friends. Just like this guy had no problem going to guys' nights or them going to girls' nights, and you're still having your girls' nights and whatever, but you're single or your second marriage, like right in front of my face, it is literally being played out. And then the people I'm talking to are just like, no, you don't get it. You don't get it. I don't get it. I'm still married. I've been together for 30 years. So there's another video I did, probably a couple of videos past, just talking about things that if I was talking to my son, what he needs to look for in a woman. And ultimately one of the things was, kind of goes off the Kevin Samuel thing of, sometimes I don't repeat myself, but people aren't seeing all these videos, so try to give an idea where I'm coming from. Women control sex, men control relationships. I find that to be extremely true. So the thing is that if a man wants to have a relationship, and I do believe the man does control relationships, the relationship ultimately, in most cases, the men should ensure that the female that he's with checks as many boxes as possible. We're talking about 85% plus of boxes. No one's going to be perfect. But you don't want to get somebody who's just like, oh man, she's hot, she's great in bed. Okay. I had a female, she's great, she's hot, great person, whatever. But there were so many things about her. All of a sudden, I mean, she was so kind. She was willing to reciprocate me taking care of her. Eventually she got to the point where she got a strong voice and actually wasn't just all yes, yes, yes. She actually became a little unagreeable, which is a term used by Jordan Peterson, which I also listened to. But she ended up being a little more unagreeable, which then also, I don't know if we would be together as long as we've been together if she would have been always yes, 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 because I might have gotten to the point where I just would have totally walked all over her, and she would have been like, okay, at some point, I'm done, or not. I don't know. Who knows? But I think with her ending up becoming a little more unagreeable, less stress was left on her to allow me to see, oh, she wants assistance here. She also wants this. She also wants that. So it just wasn't give, take. It ended up being more of a give and take relationship, which in I think most cases it should work that way. I mean, other relations work different. I mean, some people like to give, and that's it. Others like to take, obviously. And ultimately, give from a man is usually not what you want anyway. And I've talked about that before. Men should be unagreeable. That doesn't mean to be a jerk, but it means unagreeable. But like I said, other videos in the past explained it a little more. But anyway, so, another video I talked about too is like when I first met, there's a song. Sometimes when I do these reactions, I do reactions to songs that I know, but I react to how I felt back then compared to when I first heard them, to because they're usually older, to how I look at the songs now. Well, one of the songs that was "I Fooled Around and Fell in Love" by Aaron Bishop, and you know, I fooled around and fell in love. It's on Guardian Galaxies and stuff, but that's kind of what happened to the wife that I had now. I was 19. I was lack of better words. I was out having I was out enjoying my 19-year-old as military, away from the family. Had a nice little setup. Had my new boys that we're all hanging out with. We go down. We're all living the good life. Bringing women back to our dorm. We pretty much ran everything, so we could be as loud as we wanted to. Nothing was around, and kind of a couple of colleges were around, so it was kind of more of a college town. So let's just say I was not having any boring nights. And I met this girl, and man, like certain way that I describe people in person, but I mean, I'll just be simple and say it was like within like about 6 weeks, all of a sudden I'm like, man, I haven't even talked to another girl in 6 weeks. And then I started thinking, and we had actually, when we met and when we actually started seeing each other, and when I say start seeing each other was, like we had met before and some stuff happened, yada, yada, yada. But when we finally met and connected and we actually exchanged digits at the time, that night, I saw her the next day, and pretty much I saw her right around, pretty much that whole month. And then I think I even came home and I flew her out. So even then, I flew her out, meet the family already, and it was just known we were friends and whatever. But all of a sudden, man, there's not been a day that I haven't seen this woman. We've been hanging out. And that kept going. That kept going until we moved in about 6 months later. Or actually, what was that? Probably about 5 months later, we moved in together. And we've lived together ever since. Oh, no, we broke up for a second. But that was like 5 years later or whatever. We had a little blip, which I think that was when actually she ended up becoming a little more disagreeable, which I think that blip was huge in our relationship. We weren't married or anything. We were about to get married. That's a whole nother story. But but there was things about her that I liked. I liked that she wanted to be with me. I'd play softball. She'd come watch anything. Really didn't go out party too much, but when we did like to go out dancing, like to go clubbing when we were young, and we'd always go together. The friend that she had a boyfriend as well, so she had a friend that was in a relationship. They were also Catholic based, I believe, too. And even when she broke up with her guy of a long time, her heart was still in finding a long-term relationship. So she had that support. But of course, she probably talked to her friend too. But that was one friend, not like friends. She had one friend, and it was probably her support belt, and did a lot of the stuff that women do. But she also was, a friend that understood and knew that we had been together for as long as we've been together. It was supportive of her friend ultimately, but definitely was there for a friend for our relationship too. And and then another thing, my wife was I saw her to be a good mom. We talked about if we have kids, she's going to be home. She ended up having to do daycare, but she wanted to be able to be with the kids. She didn't want to put the kids in daycare. Ultimately, big thing for me too. Two things I need to be able to spend time with my woman. When we're in a house, she wasn't in the bedroom while I'm out on a couch, and that we're still like that to this day. We're still like that. My wife also, we ain't putting our kids in daycare. Anytime we went out, if there wasn't a grandparent available to watch kids, I don't think we ever went out we never took them to a babysitter. Maybe we took them to a babysitter once. Maybe once or twice, like literally once or twice. But ultimately, there's no daycare. There's no, we're paying for it anyway, so I'm going to take the kid and drop them off at daycare. No, my wife was the one that was going to be bringing up the kids while I was out working, and that was understood. We had already talked about. It's all the stuff that had been talked about. That's the type of relationship I'm talking about. So when I see this type of video, you know, and that's so that would go on the point where I'm talking about a lot of 95% of the stuff was already was her the boxes were checked on her. So when I see something like this and she wants to come out and she wants to say that oh, there's nothing wrong with that, there's nothing wrong, there's total everything. I just believe there's a lot wrong with that. And ultimately I'm kind of with him. You want to be married or you want to be single? And if you want to start having these girls nights, I just at work I already went 3 for 3, 4 for 4. I think I might have gone 5 for 5. Where well, actually, yes, 7 or 7, because the 2 that were married, they don't do the nights. They don't do the girls' nights and guys' nights. They're married and have kids. Shit, I mean, to be honest with you, it's hard enough to spend time alone when you got kids. So as soon as you have kids, the one time that you want to get out together. Why are you going to girls' nights? Why are you going to guys' nights? You know, your man's out working at and say night shift or whatever. Why are you taking it upon yourself to be like, oh, I'm gonna go out with the girls because you're just at work anyways? Really? What if the wife is working somewhere where she works late? Oh, I'm gonna be late, babe. I'm gonna come. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go hang out with the guys at the bar or whatever. Why would he do that? Why would you do that? She's working late. Stay home. That's how it should be, at least as far as I'm concerned. You know. So. Yeah, I mean, like I said, some of the things that she was saying, fine, if that's depending on where you're at, someone wants to come and especially, I'm gonna keep to what she said, a girl's trip. And I know, like a lot of oh, I'm woman here, or I should be able to have friends. Then you should be able to be single too. You're not single. You in this scenario, you decided to get married. So you're married or you're single. So no, your friends don't come first. If you want your relationship to last, your friends don't come first. 5 for 5. So when the marriage didn't come first, what happens? Divorce. 5 for 5. And then the 2 for 2, when the marriage didn't come first, they're still together. I don't know, just by chance. I mean, I'm sure there's ones out there that we've had that there's issues out there, but I'm just saying that's not how it worked. You know, I mean, I'll say, I'll go a little further in further in my relationship here. We gotten older. You throw in, like you said, what little dancing, alcohol, friends and all this stuff, and I can tell you, we've been kind of in the mood where last 10 years or so, going out, doing stuff like that, had me for a while thinking it had a lot to do with, getting a little liquored up, getting a little sloppy, getting a little crazy. I'm sure that has something to do with it, but just lately I've actually kind of thought that it is a thing with the friends and with the female friends, and I don't know if it's I've noticed it because as we're getting older, let me before y'all all the women hate me, I'm sure you still will anyways, a couple of videos that I totally think it supports my theory as of right now. So hold on a second. Let's see.
Post a picture on Instagram and there are tons of comments telling you how beautiful you are from other women. I got bad news for you, sweetie. Ugly women love to boost other ugly women. They think that if they can bring down the scale of attractiveness to the level that they're at, so everybody's on that level, then they cannot be revealed for being the hideous monsters that they actually are.
That's Joni, and she's hilarious. Look her up. She's funny. A lot of women hate her, but that's because she's gorgeous and funny. But she ain't wrong. Women lie. Women lie, and they'll tell you they look beautiful when they want to bring you down to their level. I think that goes into relationships too. All of a sudden, they'll sit there and they'll lie to you because they want you to come down to their level. Let me keep going with this one. Hold on.
Men and women is the way that women lie to each other compared to the brutal honesty that men have towards each other. Let me give an example. If there's an overweight woman and she asks her friends, do I look fat? All of her friends are gonna say, no, girl, you look
No.
amazing. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
bestie, no,
Oh,
how could you think
you're
that?
beautiful.
You're queen. And if a man's overweight and he goes to his male friends and asks if he looks fat, his friends will be brutally honest and say to him, yeah, bro, I know 5 fat guys and you're 4 of them.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. So now let me carry on what I believe everything those ladies just said, and I thank you for the lady. I think that was like Manosphere or something. I don't watch him at all. I was actually watching Joni, I think, and that came up. But man, she's great. It makes me laugh. And odd for me, odd for a female comment to make me laugh. Actually, I think Joan Rivers was the last one that made me laugh. But they're talking about same difference, but mainly they're talking about lies. I believe exactly what they're saying, but I also think, like for instance, what I was kind of saying with my wife with her younger friend, that were both, when you're young, prime, 100% grade, looking good. They were both attractive ladies. Anywhere they went, they got hit on. They didn't care. They had a man at the time. Both of them did. Whatever. They were coming home. Still to this day, like Mike could probably do the same thing. Somebody could probably pick her up at a supermarket, and she could cheat on me if that was the case. But back then, definitely that was there. So there's really no insecurity because it could have happened any time. But however, her friend was excited about life, excited about. And my wife was excited, new things to come. Are we gonna get married? Been together for so long. She has a engagement ring, kids. What the future of what the future was gonna be? Excitement, whatever. Well, now we're talking 30 years later, and her friend and her aren't friends anymore. They don't hate each other. They just grew apart. But now she has another friend, and then she has all these other friends to this big old group. And I personally am just exactly like, what I would say that, some of our issues were, but I listened to Jordan Peterson, and, I listened to a couple of other people. Jordan Peterson really got my eyes open a little bit to some of the things of, you're out here and you have these friends and stuff like this where these women are coming up and telling the truth and saying, these women that are, in their 40s, 35 and plus, I think they call it the wall, hit the wall. They're and they're single. They're not extremely happy, and they definitely don't have a problem bringing their married females down with them, because just like the ugliness, the fatness here and there, they literally want to normalize anything to either elevate themselves or get you down to their level. And just recently I'd gone on a couple of out of town trips with the wife, with the fam, with half of the fam anyway. Daughter played softball, so we went matches this a couple times too. We went out and man, I had a blast. Had a blast with the wife. Again, no other people were around. It's just her and I would go out. My daughter had to sleep in. Go out, had a great time. It proved to me that there's more to this marriage than just the kids, that we have gone through issues and been battling. Just like marriages, nothing's easy, but it just made me prove that, man, I still love this woman, and there's still a lot about her I enjoy. Not only do I love her, I enjoy her. Definitely so happy that I picked. Definitely things that need to get fixed. And we're out and about, we're drinking, we're doing whatever, we're drinking, and so, listening to Jordan Peterson, and other people, like I said, Jordan Peterson, Kevin Samuel, stuff like that. And I'm putting myself in a formula, because then because we did that 2 weeks in a row, I think, best 2 weekends in a long time in our relationship. Because then through a week we were fine and whatever, and then all of a sudden next week comes around, went out with friends, her little gal friends or whatever, and had a not so good night, Not necessarily it was horrible. It might have been. It was, it was a bad night. And I was like, what's different in the formula in the last 2 weeks was friends. Whether my friends or her friends, ultimately it's her friends because I don't have friends. But the atmosphere, the just the little things that women put in other women's minds. Because, like I said, they literally just said it. I mean, yes, they're not know all, say all, but more and more you look at it, I'm telling you, ladies, they bring each other down. You bring each other down. So I started looking at that a little bit, and I started taking some of Jordan Peterson's advice, and I'll tell you, there's since I put that formula together and I saw that, I don't even want it to turn into a bad night. And when a bad night just means that we get into like where I get upset and she gets upset and she calls me an a-hole and I call her or something to that effect. That's what I mean. There'll be times that, somebody gets a little more tipsy and you just get irritated with them. That to me is not a bad night. What bad night is when you get into a thing where I don't even want to be sitting next to you anymore. I don't want to sit next to you anymore. You're irritating me. Done. Whether it's her, whether it's me, and so, I've come to find out that, formula, we were out having some drinks, great nights, and it went out both nights. So 4 nights we went out, everything was great. All of a sudden come back the very next time we go out, add the formula of friend or friends, and it's shit. It's a shit night, and I'm not happy. And like I said, listen to Jordan Peterson. I just instead of using the energy and trying to have a bad night where that energy turns to bad, I've just been leaving. Don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm getting old. I'm done. Don't want to deal with it anymore. Just head out, go out somewhere else, and use my energy somewhere else. I might go into the point where you're saying, oh, well, then if you're just going to leave, then maybe we need to reevaluate this marriage, right? Right. You're not wrong. But I just think that's one of the better things for me to do right now. It's not that my choice that I want, but I want it to not end up in that type of night. So, you go out, make a decision. Like I said, man, look up Jordan Peterson, man. He says some great things. But then there's also another thing that, you guys out, or at least in case, a married couple out and married couple at home can be totally different, which is why at home it is a lot better. So in some cases it's been better because we didn't blow up on each other. And then when we come home, we're not as mad at each other because we didn't blow up the night before. So it recharges that we're able to get back into a good vibe at home. So that's been kind of nice, but now I'm kind of into the limbo myself where I want to my home self wants to focus on more on focusing on those good nights that we had. But when we go out and that stuff happens, and I just been taking off, getting an Uber, leaving, or getting the car, heading out, whatever, depending on knowing that she's able to get home, she's with her friends or whatever. At that time they're way more important to me. So, go ahead, go girl, do what you gotta do. I'll just go elsewhere, and I don't have a problem having fun. I can go somewhere, and I have no problem meeting anybody. And I'm just saying that's where we're at right now. But it's just interesting that popped up, and yeah, that's why. Again, girlfriends okay for your wife. Girlfriends, a couple of examples there, and then all of a sudden here you come up with this thing. It comes up with girls trip. I don't even like girls night. If you want to be married, be married. If you want a girls night, become single, because eventually you're going to, as far as I'm concerned. So anyways, guys, let me go over my notes real quick. I was going to say, yeah, then at some point you might want to ask, do you want to be married or do you want to be single? Figure it out. again, from the video a couple days ago, told you most of the time, women get a lot into divorce, but when you're a certain age and you're above 35, a lot of times immediately the guy gets out of the relationship, probably finds a younger girl. Girls, on the other hand, usually looking at 25 above, 25 years above. Just some of this, just stuff I've been looking at. All the guys that are your age are looking for younger, and the ones that can't get any younger, they're probably real pieces of work. And from what I know of my wife's friends, there's a lot of good pieces of work out there. Trust me. I mean, they want to talk about our relationship being so horrible. We've been together 30. I see things that they're doing at 2 weeks, and I'm like, what is going on? You want to question us, and you're in it at 2 weeks, and you got guy taking your credit card and using it for whatever. Found him with another girl, and he thought you guys were totally together. Oh, I didn't realize we're. There's some work out there for sure. And then just, the formula for girls' night. A lot of times, gonna go out, gonna go party, gonna drink, get around girls. Not only do they pull each other down, there's also a high level of competition too. Of who looks better. A lot of times I've seen that before too, and I've heard about that before where, well, girls get hit on, and then I'm married, and then you get a little tipsy, and then you start thinking, oh man, maybe I just see if I could maybe get this guy, and then now that you're tipsy, you got all of a sudden now you guys are back at some dude's pad for after hours and whatever. You're just like, dude, come on, man. Like, why are you even in that scenario? You're married, or are you? Stuff like that. And like I said, I've never ever heard of going out solo, girls' nights or whatever, really helping a marriage out. I've heard many times from females who have been divorced, who are actually cheating at the moment, and will sit there and say, oh, come on, that's silly. I could just get it anywhere, but I really just need to be able to have time with my friends. I need my alone time. I need this, that, and the other. If you need that, you shouldn't have got married. Because maybe it's my Catholic upbringing, but also I'll tell you my formula, we've been together 30 years. And all of our kids are ours. No extra kids from anybody else. And ultimately, the whole thing is that when you get married, vows were said, and you're a union. Another thing I said before about therapy, don't like where, well, you got to find yourself, you got to get stronger, you got to do this on your own, and you can do this on your own, and then all of a sudden it come together, and you'll be strong again. Horseshit. No, you grow together, you are together, because if you're in a marriage, no decision that you make is unchanging of the relationship. It's anything you do, even if you make it if you decide it on your own, you invest in something, or you cheat, or you decide not to cheat, or whatever. And every decision you do, you go buy a car that you didn't ask to, or whatever. Every decision you do affects the union, the family. So you need to grow as a union, and you should be going out and growing as the couple gets older. You should have what they call date nights and whatever. Hard enough to get date nights when you have kids, so why are you wasting these times on girls' nights and guys' nights? Focus on husband-wife nights, so that when the kids you've had kids for a span of 25 years of the relationship. You've 5 years of our scenario. 5 years of relationship, it was boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, union, just two people. Then all of a sudden you have 25 years of mom and dad, husband, wife. Because you're mom and dad and your husband and wife. You still need to have, I hate to call it date nights, but you still need to be, you need to go and have husband-wife time. Doesn't matter. Date night means look like you always got to be nice, whatever. No. You got to have husband-wife time. So that way, after the 25 years of being father-wife, father, mother, husband, wife, once the kids are out of the nest and now you're just husband and wife, you still have bonded and have grown as husband and wife. I've seen so many older, like long-term relationships end because they're like, man, I still get along with Peter, but yeah, we just grew apart. I think he's a great guy, and but no, we just got divorced, split everything, really no hassle. He's happy, I'm happy. We haven't even been intimate, and I don't even know how long, but he's a great guy, and I hope the best for him and all that. I've seen so much of that, and that's because you didn't grow as husband and wife. So, like I said, maybe not date nights, but you still got to have that husband and wife. So but it's very tough to get that. So why are you wasting that? Why are you wasting that on your independent side, your solo side? Once you're married, you should not be independent anymore. Sorry, that's the way I look at it. You're a union. And here's the thing, and here's the issue, or here's my point. If I think that way, I'm going to find a woman who thinks that way. Check that box. I checked that box with the female I decided to. Not saying it knew it was going to last this long, but that was a box that was checked. That's how she wanted to see things. She wanted to be with me everywhere we went, not this solo shit. She wasn't going to say, oh, I got to have my friends, or I got to be able to go do this, or I'm going to take trips, blah, 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 and the other. If I would be cool with that, then, hey, that'd be all right, but I wasn't like that. Are you going to be putting our kids in daycare when you're at home doing nothing? No, I want to bring up the kids, blah, blah. Are you going to want to work when we have kids? No, I want to be home with the kids any way I can. I'll do daycare, I'll do whatever, but I'll do daycare in our house so I can watch our kids and then raise other kids. Boom, that was a check. Cool, awesome, that's what I'm kind of saying. So the way I thought was very similar to the way that she thought. That's why make sure there's 85% of the boxes are checked. It's going to give you a better fight, or better fighting chance, I guess you will. And yeah, I really don't think girls nights, definitely girls trips. That's a trip. That's a no for me. But that ain't anything about being insecure. That's about, I know exactly who I am, and I know exactly who I married. And if that person's changed, then maybe we shouldn't be married. So anyway, stay in school. Peace out, guys. Have a good one. Like, subscribe. It's the Tez Mania Reactions channel, reacting to that one clip. Hopefully I'll be able to get you another video out tomorrow. But like I said, stay in school.